their hands together for number 48, Nick Ross. compact team, Danielle was at.
Light coming out.
Program of sports basketball minor league model. Put your hands together for the point leader and first team winner, Don Rupert Jr.
It's Don Wagner. Don, it's the first time you've been down to the racetrack, I think, for a good while, and we're glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. And I guess I really do miss the fans and the races and a lot of faces around here I do not recognize. Please don't be afraid to. I know one guy standing over here, I remember him well. He made me go in his race car one night and stared right out of me. There was nothing for me to hold on to at the inside of the car. Remember that, Todd? And I was scared, but I went to the restroom right away, and I was okay. It was really, really something. I don't know how much you're interested in the history of this racetrack, but we think that there's a great history here. And in case you didn't know, in 1953, the racetrack opened, and they had to close after 1 month because the dust was so bad. Then they tried calcium. That didn't work. They had to close and not have very good races because they couldn't see who the hell that was everybody. So then they went to the asphalt, and that's when things really changed here. And when the super modifieds came along in the late 60s, we had 72,000 fans here one season. And it was really big. But it was so expensive that a lot of these fellas couldn't race with them. And we could understand that. So they dropped super modifieds because they became so very, very expensive. I got some memories of some guys that I remember quite well here. And I think I remember, I was looking for Tony Diano. I don't know if he's here or not. But one time, Tony Diano wanted to get in the feature. Hello. And he was a big winner down here, in case you didn't know. Anyway, we were ready to go with the feature, and he wasn't quite ready to go. So he went back to the pits. And so we gave him 3 or 4 hot laps, a chance to get out there. And he couldn't quite make it. And his fans got so mad that we went ahead and started the feature, and they threw a pillow out in the middle of the track, and this first car hit that pillow, and feathers went everywhere. But that was enough time for Tony to get back in there. Tony Diano, I think his son is now racing, and I think you have grandson racing also. Do you have grandson racing also? Who? Grandson, yeah. You're like me. Lose your hearing. I can't hear a damn thing. But some of the other things that I do remember is, I remember the competition we had here between Baldy Baker of Bolivar, a potato farmer, and Dean Mast of Sugar Creek in the early 50s. And there was only 2 fans at that time at Midvale. Those who liked Baker and those who liked Mast. And when one won, the other booed, and vice versa, and we had great competition going. And it continued on then for many more years. I remember in 1966, Bud Midall took over here, and he won 22 races that year. But maybe one of the biggest winners I can recall was Tony Diano in 67 and 68, won 37 features. He was really red hot. And the reason he won was nobody bad-mouthed him because his dad had an old. Right, Tony? That's right. But there were many other memories that I have, and who could forget Bill Biddictor? Bill Biddictor drove at this racetrack for 82 years, at least a senior. He won 122 races when we had our 25th anniversary souvenir program. He had won 122 races. Some other guys came by and passed that, but at that time he was the biggest winner at the racetrack. Women were not allowed in the pit area in the 50s and 60s. Then in 1976, we had a race with Janet Guthrie, who was the first woman to ever drive at Indianapolis Speedway. She raced here at Midvale. In that same year, a gal by the name of Janet Parker from Kent was the first woman to win a feature race here among the men. Some of them won't even, will she here? Come on up here. Do you remember that race? How long ago was that? And isn't that the same year that Janet Guthrie was here?
She came the next year, I do believe. Calhoun asked her to come down and she put a show on, and she came the next year.
Okay.
We did race in the same race.
Well, I remember when you came down, and I told everybody at Midvale, we're in trouble, baby. We got a woman driver out here tonight.
Yeah, well, I loved it. It was right in my alley.
Well, they booed me that night when I said that.
I bet they did.
Well, things have changed since then. Nice having you here. I'm glad they told me you were here. Janet Parker from Kent. I've got other memories too. I remember the night when Jerry Dudley was coming down the straightaway and an accelerator stuck. And he went around and around Midvale Speedway and nobody could stop him, didn't know what to do. So he fishtailed his steering wheel, flipped it, got out in the middle of the track and stalled it. Of course, Jerry Dudley was always doing something. I remember one night we were racing at Depot. And he spun out on the back stretch and they wouldn't stop the race. Old Jerry got out of his car, went over and grabbed the black flag and stopped the whole race. Jerry would do anything. I think a lot of you guys remember Jerry, don't you? He's passed on now. He was a good sir. But I think the biggest change here, and I'll quit talking when I get tired of it. In 1958, we went to super modifieds when the bodies were made with tubulars chassis, and then the bodies were shaped like a bullet. That was the biggest change when the super modifieds came along. But then, like I said, it was too expensive. So, and I know Norm Saul came down with his North Black. There's 93. Baldy Baker couldn't beat him with TV8, so he traded in TV8 and got the blue GM21. And then he won the class modified. Last but not least, I think the biggest memory for me, outside of the great fans here, was we had the Ohio Invitational Championship every year. And we started bringing down the NASCAR drivers. Bobby Allison was here. Benny Parsons was here. Neil Bonnet was here. Cale Yarborough was here. Cale Yarborough was the only driver that I ever introduced that was shorter than me. So you know he was pretty cool. One other fellow I would like to mention was Virgil Tinman. I think Virgil's brother-in-law is here. Virgil Tinman won 22 races, 22 features in 1966. He was from Delroy. One of you guys and he really liked it. Did he try to get a car with that? And you were well, he was okay. Last but not least, I do want to say that I really enjoyed my 26 years here as the announcer, and I love the fans. But boy, I'll tell you, they really let me know when I said anything they didn't like. But you know, that's part of the game. That's why it's fun. If they don't boo you, you ain't nobody. You know, and that's true with the national sports scene. People like that. You're nothing till they boo you. And they'll boo anybody when they don't. I remember, Tony. In 2 years, Tony Diano won 37 features and 53 races. Bud Midall won 22 times in 1966. Those guys were all taking a check of time. That's our car guy, everybody. I see Kenny Stevens back here. He's still racing around. He's working for NASCAR. Kenny Stevens, still free. Still lives in St. Louis. That's about all I have. Thank you all for coming. Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, I just want to say one thing, that Don Wagner was probably, without a doubt, our best announcer at any track, anywhere, anytime. And you took all the racers to heart and remembered every little thing about every one of them, and you did your job better than any announcer that I've ever listened to.
If not, I'll make sure everybody knows who the operator of this racetrack is. Their Schwartz over there.
Thanks, Don. I remember Don when I was just a young fella. He used to also be a sports writer or a sportscaster. Both. And when I was in high school, he interviewed me one time when I was just a senior in high school. So I've known Don for a long time. So I enjoy hearing his voice, and I'm privileged to have him here tonight with me and the rest of us. So I want everybody to give Don Wagner a great hand for us. Thank you, Don. And I want to turn over to the young announcer. He don't have 26 years here, but sometimes I think he does.
All right, we're going to introduce to you all of the old timers for tonight's festivities. Mid-Vid Speedway. We will start with the 2008 season drivers for our three laps. Over the last year, Jim Baker stacked the drivers in the 60s, the 80s, and four-time Ohio Invitational champion. Roger Black, driver here for a number of seasons, number 29 entry, the 70s through the 90s, and Jack Brill, a driver that raced mostly at the Barberton Speedway, but has also raced here at Midvale. Robbie Dean, the Big Bird, has passed away just over the last couple of months. Raced from the 70s up until the end of last season. Joe Martinsik and Lou Pilata, drivers from the Midvale Speedway early years. All late model drivers that have passed away over the last season. Now we will introduce to you each of the drivers that came out tonight for Old Timers Night 2008. We'll start with a driver that raced from 1955 to 1965 in the late model division, picked up a feature win. He's been here for all three of the Old Timers Nights. Second place in points in 1959, seventh in points in 1958 with 7 podium finishes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Austin Bees. For a number of seasons here at Midvale. 1976 was her first appearance. She did it for 31 years. Grandmother of 12 and a great-grandmother of 1. May not recognize her. She's not in uniform tonight. Welcome Becky the Clown. This next driver was inducted last year into our Hall of Fame. He raced from the 50s through the 90s, even in the 2000s. He raced in the hobby stock, sports stock, Detroit Iron divisions with 36 feature wins. Bill Bittaker. His son was also a competitor here at Midvale Speedway from 1973 to 1986. He raced in the hobby stock and late model divisions. 2 feature wins to his credit. Welcome Jeff Bittaker. Next driver raced from 1961 to 2001. He came back tonight to qualify one of our sports stock cars with a good lap time. He raced in the street stock, sports stock, and late model divisions with between 40 and 45 feature wins. 151 trophies, second annual Baldy Baker Memorial victory, various mid-season and season championships. Also helps out a lot of our drivers here at Midvale Speedway. Kenny Carroll. Driver he competed against for a number of seasons. 1974 to 1992, raced a lot here at Midvale Speedway in hobby stock, sports stock, and late model division competition. He had 25 feature wins. He had a hobby stock mid-season championship, a sports stock Clay Week championship, 85 cavalcade champ, and the 88 season champ. White Bucks, Mike Dawson. This next driver raced from 1955 to current. He's competing tonight in the number 7 late model. 50 feature wins and a point championship at Skyline Speedway to his credit, Darrell Dexter. Next driver raced from 1979 to 1997. As he races down our compact division, he's raced in street stock, sports stock, late model, super late model, and compacts with 25 to 30 feature wins, several mid-season and season championships, a sports stock champion, currently top 10 in the 08 points, AJ Diano. This next driver raced in the 80s and 90s. Another second-generation racer, numerous feature wins, picked up one just a couple of weeks ago, filling in for his brother AJ. Season championship, point champion, let's hear it for Mario Diano. I introduce to you now their father. He was one of our Hall of Fame inductees last season, raced from 1964 to 76 on a regular basis. Also made a return years later, raced in the late model division with over 100 feature wins, a 2-time Ohio Invitational victory, and a Firecracker 150 winner, Tony Diano. A street stock and late model competitor, raced from 84 to 95 with a couple of feature wins to his credit. Let's hear it for Tom Early. Next driver raced in a late model sprint and ARCA. Picked up a few feature wins over his racing career. Raced from 1958 to 1987. Welcome Red Evans. From 1965 to 1970, this driver was in the late model division. He was a competitive driver in that class. Let's welcome Dave Fawcett. Next driver raced from 1971 to 1987 in the late model street stock, figure 8, and sports stock divisions. 50 feature wins to his credit. The 87 champion at Canton Speedway. Numerous mid-season, season championships. He's raced in Midvale, Sandusky, Lorraine, Canton, and Cloverleaf. Chuck Harris. From 1977 to 2005, this driver called Midvale Speedway home in each Rhode Island street stock and sports stock divisions. 25 to 30 feature wins to his credit in his career. Several mid-season championships for Bill Hilliker. Next driver was winner of the Firecracker 150 in 1972. 20 career feature wins, raced from 1950 to 1970 in the late model division. Let's hear it for G. Iacobucci. From 1971 to 2006, this driver competed in sports stock, late model, and modified divisions. He has over 100 feature wins. Probably one of the future members of the Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame. Two-time point champion, numerous mid-season and season championships. I think he had to leave for other appointments tonight. Glenn Jewell. This next late model driver raced from the 50s to 1978 in the late model division with several feature wins to his credit. Larry Kilpatrick. Next driver is in the hobby stock, street stock, sports stock, late model, and figure 8 divisions. Over 100 feature wins to his credit. Numerous mid-season and season championships, 9-point titles, Midvale, Barberton, Canton Series winner. From the 60s to the 90s, he raced Roger Liner. From 1956 to 1962, this driver was a competitor in the late model division. 6 feature wins to his credit. The late model season championship winner in 1957, Jim Long. Another one of our members of the Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame, inducted last season. He raced from 1957 to 1980 in the late model division. 30 feature wins here at Midvale Speedway with 3 mid-season and season championships. Picked up the 1967 Cavalcade win, the Firecracker 150 winner in 1969, most popular driver in 1970 in the Midvale 200 in 1973, Bud Middle. Yeah! Next driver competed in the late model and sports stock divisions at a number of tracks over the years from 1952 to 1989. He's now the pit announcer here at Midvale Speedway, Bob Happy Miller. Oh, yeah. His son raced from 1975 to present, competing at Midvale as well as other tracks, late model and street stock divisions with 165 feature wins to his credit, 5-time point champion, track record holder, main event qualifier winner, and second in main event 1 year at Columbus Motor Speedway. Clinton's Mike Miller. Maybe our eldest member here tonight, raced in 1953 and 1954 when Midvale Speedway first opened up in the super modified, picked up a few feature wins. Welcome, Don Mouse. Yeah! His brother also competed during the same seasons from 1953 to 1955 in the super modified division. Let's hear it for Joe Mouse. Next driver has competed from 1974 to present years. Races tonight, number 8 late model with 20 feature wins to his credit, second 9 times in points at the Canton, Midvale, Barberton Speedways. Let's hear it for Alliance Ohio driver Joel McKnight. From 1966 to 1988, this driver raced in the figure 8 and late model divisions. His son now races in the late model class, car number 54, with 25 figure 8 feature wins to his credit. The 83 figure 8 season champion. Put your hands together for Larry McMillan. Next next driver competed from 1953 to 1956 in stock and modified divisions. Dalton McIntyre. From the late 1970s to 2003 in the late model modified and spur stock divisions with one feature win here at Midvale Speedway to his credit. Raced in the modified event last week, Ed Nelson. This next driver raced in the 80s in the figure 8 division with 40 feature wins to his credit. Mid-season and season championships as well for Jeff Paisley. John talked a little bit about her earlier tonight, but the first female driver to race and win here at Midvale Speedway, never qualified out of the top 10, won a special match race for Midvale's top drivers. Roger Black was the crew chief and she drove his car on several occasions. 4 feature wins to her credit, late model division from 76 and 77, Janet Parker. In 1959, a track champion, mid-season championships to his credit as well with 5 feature wins. In the late model, Jay Peterson. Ran the first Power Cup race in 1956, finished second, first woman to run a super modified. Jay's wife, Marlene Peterson. Next competitor race from the 50s to the early 90s, the late model sports stock figure 8 in Iman division with over 100 feature wins to his credit, smiling Jack Ripley. Mid-season champion, season champion numerous times, 3-time main event champion, and leads the all-time list of main event wins, over 100 feature wins to his credit. Race from 76 to now, Rich Rohr. The Sports Stock 1987 champion, Pure Stock champion of 2006 with numerous feature wins. Sports Stock late model and Pure Stock division racing from 1976 to now, the number 84 car tonight, Rich Schweitzer. Season championships, the Canton champion in 1988, Lorraine champion in 2004, over 100 feature wins from 1970 to present, Bob Sibla. His brother raced from the 1960s to 1980s, came back for a brief stint in the early 2000s, racing the late model division with 3 feature wins to his credit, Paul Sibla. Next honoree raced for 25 years, from the 60s through the 80s. The sportsman late model, super late model, and some modified races, over 100 wins to his credit. He was a track champion in Kilcare, Zanesville, Columbus, and Shadyville. Raced all the special events here at Midvale. Raced in 12 states in Canada and 40 tracks and 1 features at 10 U.S. tracks and 2 Canadian tracks. He's from Columbus, Ohio, Carl Smith. Three-time point champion here at Midvale Speedway, picked up his most recent just a few years ago in the sports stock and late model divisions. Know your 7-Up car over the years. Let's hear it for Tom with Farmer Smith.
I thought you still eat.
2-time point champion in 1983 and 1984. Races on a semi-regular basis here at Midvale Speedway currently. 1974 to 2006, a regular driver in the sports stock and late model division with over 50 feature wins, Kenny Stevens. From the 1970s to 1990, this driver competed in the super late model division. Welcome back tonight to Midvale Speedway, Ron Stokey. Next driver, many-time Canton track champion, main event points champion, mid-season and season championships with 75 feature wins to his credit. From 78 to 2004, let's hear it from Brian Bull. From the 1950s to the 1960s, 1970s, this driver raced in the heavy stock division. A three-time point champion, Leo Weinhardt. This next driver raced in the early seasons of Midvale Speedway.
That's how you tune them.
Familiar face here at Midvale, watching our racing action on a weekly basis, and also comes down for all our full-timers tonight. Welcome, Spanky Wilson.
Get in there, Spanky.
Also, someone I did not have a long-time story official here at Midvale Speedway. Welcome, for this year's Hall of Fame induction ceremony here at Midvale Speedway. We have 4 drivers and 2 officials inducted this year for the Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame. Last season, the inductees for the first ever Hall of Fame award ceremony were Gene Bob Talati, Eddie Womack, Dean Mass, Paulie Baker, Bill Whittaker, Bud Biddle, and Tony Diano. This season, our first inductee was a member of the track official track staff on the infield, Roy King. Roy started out as a race fan in the 1960s and became a car owner in 1969 and 1970. In 1973, he became the head of the Midvale Speedway infield track crew and remained in that position for 15 years. Most likely the hardest working employee at the track. He showed his loyalty and dedication by helping anybody and everybody. Besides his jobs at the track, Roy could always be found helping someone in need. Ladies and gentlemen, the late Roy King.
I'll go ahead and do it, and we'll take the picture. All right. Roy King.
In just moments, they will be presented with the plaques that were left over the pit office. But Karen's on her way to go pick those up. Our next honoree is here tonight. He's the next member of the Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame. He was a long-time announcer and record keeper. Don also served as the public relations director and Speedway judge. Don once wrote a personal book of the track record statistics which showed his dedication to the sport. He was the voice of Midvale Speedway for 26 years. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Don Wagner. Our first driver in the Hall of Fame 2008 racing season. He raced from the 50s through the 70s and was a 2-time point champion in 65 and 67. He finished in the top 5 in points 5 times and had 20 feature wins in 1965. Delmer Clark had moved into the ARCA Series before retiring. Ladies and gentlemen, the late Delmer Clark. Another driver member of our Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame inducted with 40 career feature wins and numerous mid-season and season championships. They've raced in the 60s and 70s. His sons Mike and Steve followed in his footsteps, both having successful racing careers, as well as his grandson Wes and Mike Jr. Dave was the sports stock champion in 1978. Unable to be here tonight, but inducted into our Midvale Speedway Hall of Fame, Dave Gillen. Dave will be accepting the award for Dave tonight. This next driver raced in the 50s and 60s and was an all-time winner at Midvale in the 60s. He was a winner of 63 features in his career. Driver with the most feature wins in 1962 and 1963, capturing 23 wins each of the two seasons. He was a 2-time champion in 1963 and 1964. He achieved 7 top 10 finishes in points. That's an impressive 96 podium finishes. The late Virgil Tenley. Speedway Motorsports Hall of Fame tonight. He raced in the 50s and 60s and was a super modified champion in 1955. A top driver in the 50s who often defeated the likes of Paulie Baker and Dean Mass. He was the driver with the most feature wins in 1955, including 12 wins in a row. He was a track record holder in 1959, setting a record time of 17:38. He once won a pursuit race in one lap and was a two-time top 10 finisher in points. Ladies and gentlemen, the late Bob Wooster. And this is a modified replica of Bob Wooster's car. The group of his family coming out tonight. Big thanks to all of the folks coming out for Old Timers Night and the Hall of Fame inductions of 2008. Did you get a decent group? All right, drivers, right now we're all
Don't break the camera. Oh, no, let that ball hit behind you.
also a big thanks to the
Okay, moving into the Sports Talk 20-lap feature. Jerry McNeely in car number 1. Desecker in 49. Blake Mackey in 7. There we go. Scott Archer in 28. Nick Grubbs 24. Kevin McClintock 38. Ron Daig in 75. And Randy Smart in 17. Jerry McNeely out in front in car 1. Rich Desecker in 2nd. Blake Mackey 3rd. Ron Daig now up to 2nd. Caution out, caution out. Daig out in front. Jerry McNeely into the pits in car 1. Ron Daig, Kevin McClintock in 2nd. 3rd, Randy Smart on the outside. Desecker 4th on the inside. Halfway, halfway.
Johnson flying out, 15 laps in.
5 to go. White flag, out for Ronde. Randy Smart got second, Kevin McClintock third. 28 and then 49.
Taking out the victory line, the Martinville Stories, taking out the service line, fight 75, let's hear for Ronde. Ron picking up 50 for the season. He picked up 3 early this year and then went on a little bit of a dry spell, won one a few weeks ago, and now back in victory lane tonight. Had one locked up last week before something broke in the right front, but the car really good once again this evening. Congratulations. Yeah, it's a little bit better handle on it now. Got off there for about 3 weeks. Getting lost means that, you know, trying to make it even better than it was. You just kind of got away from the setup you were using, or just track conditions changed. I think the track is going away from it. Congratulations on another win. Ronde, your point leader in the Ford Top Division, victorious tonight in 25.
5 in, 20 to go. You gotta be. Let's go on the outside. 48. White flag.
Speedway, third time feature, coming up next. And 3, Parkway Suzuki Compact Features, around outside program with Midvale Speedway, Ryan Tesla winning. Here tonight, after a couple of weeks coming close to victory lane, and not getting it there now. Tonight, victorious in the marathon, 25 laps. Marathon manufacturing car coming home victorious. Ryan Tesco. Ryan, congratulations. Congratulations on your fans down here in the long race. You didn't run out of fuel, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we got a bigger tank than this thing because for the main event races and everything. So, if we were going to run the main event races, I'd rather run a smaller tank, but we got her in there for now, take it off tonight anyway.
Other one of our marathon races, it was matters of getting up 3 5 laps put together to get out front. We did.
Yeah, we've kind of struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks. There was a couple of races we were in a position to win, and we didn't capitalize on them. And I made a mistake the last race, trying to skip all on the last lap, and it was my own fault. Everybody said we made contact, we didn't hit. I just had the car over adjusted to the rear brake, and I was a little bit tight in the race, and I got in there and stopped the race, and it grew off on me. It was all mine.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryan Tesco, your winner tonight, 25 lot late model feature, brought to you by Packers Oil Company.
Luther Chambers out in front. Pathwater, senior second. Todd Miller, third. 51 fourth. 48 fifth. Or 50th fifth. Five to go. Whites are on the outside. Lee McCurry on the inside. Washing out again. Three laps to go. White flag.
Yet to go this evening here at Midvale Speedway. He came dead last starting position in tonight's field. Let's hear it for Lee McCurry, the winner of the two-stock race tonight. Picking up their first feature win. This 32 car was quick from Heathrow. He rode his leg and building forward. Tonight, the race for all the higher out there. On the track, whatever. Put that behind you. He came out in the feature. Started in the back. He came all the way to the front. Very, very race night. Congratulations.
Thank you. I had to keep higher and he didn't agree with it, so that's why I'm glad that I wanted to hear it done. And I hope I can throw it between. I don't know if they're clear drivers.
I think you had the right feature there. I think you really did. You actually missed all the action that happened. There were plenty of them on your socks tonight again. You happened to miss them and got to the front. This is the right time.
Yeah, I felt bad before. I didn't want to make that lead now, but I thought part of it was it. So I started getting loose all of a sudden. And I looked at that caution. I was just driven. But I want to look back a second to make sure I can see it. And lose the race like that. But good for me, bad for him.
Congratulations. Lee McCurry picks up the two-stock feature win tonight, number 32.
Eric Rule on the front, John McNutt second. Myers third, Hess fourth, Jake Albright in that fifth spot. Oh no! Derek Rule and Felicia Myers will bring them in. Total restart, John McNutt, Rich Hess, Jake Albright, Tim Westerfield, Ricker, and Clipper Cox. Don Rupert Jr., Kelly McNutt, AJ Diano, Johnny Campbell, Derek Gruhl out in front of 149. John McNutt right there in second. Rick Hex in third. Felicia Myers, Tim Westerfield, Jake Albright, Clifford Cox in 70, 22 over Kyle Richter. Kelly McNutt, Don Ritter Jr., A.J. Diano, Johnny Campbell, Tom Barrett. John looks to the outside of Derek Gruhl. Tim Westerfield trying to get on the inside of Felicia Myers. Washing out. Here we go, 4 in, 11 to go. Looks like John's okay.
Hard correction, Jake Albright, Felicia Myers, Ron Ritter Jr., and 19 of Rich Hess. Laps in, 7 laps remaining.
Okay, 8 in, 7 to go. Derek Gruhl, 149. Clifford Cox in 70. Kelly McNutt, 36. Don Ritter Jr., 47. A.J. Diano in 09. Derek Gruhl out in front, Clifford Cox hanging on to second. Battle for fourth between A.J. Diano and Kelly McNutt. And John Ritter Jr. for third. side by side for third. AJ going for second. Caution is out.
Here we go.
Derek Grohl, AJ Diano, Kyle Rector, Kelly McNutt. AJ smoking out of the rear end. Grohl on the inside, AJ on the outside. AJ Diano, Derek Grohl.
Anyway, good race with the 09.
I'd just like to thank anybody here from family, like, please, fans. Speedway. I'm out of the middle for you. I'm going to get around.
Let's hear it again for AJ Diano, your winner tonight, the compact fast feature.
Derby out in front. Jesse Page. Jason Anthony in that second spot. Page wants it. He's going for the lead on the outside. Brad Henry. Billy Nicholas in a 132. We got 3 wide down the backstretch. Brad Henry on the inside wants that lead on the Page. Halfway. Max McCartney trying to go for that lead. Max down in front. Ryan second. Jesse third. Jim fourth. Bob in fifth. Tammy Rufner. Jason Anthony. White flag.
But actually, you guys rode on one of the best. It was just, I think, one caution twice. The 5-car was good, just like Joe being behind the wheel last week, right?
All that stuff happens. I would have fun, you know. But first of all, I just want to thank Ryan and Joe and for all the help they've done. And Brian Schwinter. And my mom and dad's here, my grandpa, so it's a good night.
Did you think that your night light turned in the wrong direction when the 73 car was kind of in your way coming off the floor?
I already had it in my mind. I was going to move it regardless. It didn't matter. It was getting out of my road.
Your winner tonight, number 5 of Max McCarthy.
With that, that concludes the racing action here at Midvale Speedway for August 2nd, 2008. As Max McCartney will take his victory lap. This brings to a close the racing action here at Midvale Speedway for the August 2nd, 2008 racing season night here at Midvale Speedway.
Again, thanks everybody for coming out to the Midvale Speedway.